Yeah, seriously, dude. Work has been fucking crazy over the past couple of weeks. And like this week, I don't know, like I feel like I kind of hit a wall with things mentally. So I don't know, I feel kind of drained, if I could be honest. But everything's okay. And I say this as I'm about to descend into what's possibly the most depressing part of this game. Well, I don't know about the remake, but the original. This long descent. This long, dark descent. With this, creepy foghorn. And, you know, honestly, after reading that story, it really does bring up that creepiness factor. The story of that man who would canoe across the lake to see his beloved. I mean, James at one point has to row a canoe across the lake to get to the hotel. And basically follow the, searchlight to guide him towards the special place that he and Mary had. Well, at first he thought that Rosewater Park was the special place that Mary was talking about in the letter. But in reality, it was the hotel. Because that's where he discovers everything. Or really rediscovers everything. Fog. Foghorn Leghorn. I'm just trying to imagine Foghorn Leghorn just, you know, popping out from the dark saying, I say, what you doing here, sad boy? Y'all gonna come down here and face your demons. You can either face your demons down here, or you can march your happy ass back upstairs. And live on with your life, James. You gotta live for yourself, James. I'm actually really tempted to, continue walking instead of running. But at the same time, I kind of want to speed up this process because, yes, it's a very long stairway. Even James, I can kind of see him cock his head a little bit like, holy fuck, this is long. I kind of wish I can get a look at his face, but unfortunately we can't do that because he doesn't want to show his face. He's a little bit shy. Oh, there we are. Yeah, we were almost there. Yeah, and of course there's the, there's that, achievement for walking down the staircase. September 11th, 1820, prisoner cell C221. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that's probably the cell that has the ghost in it. That whispers that weird phrase over and over again. That one really fucking creepy part in the original. I totally forgot that I was that well stocked up on syringes, and that makes me happy. But watch as I suck them all down. I got a feeling I'm gonna take a clobbering down here. Part of that's because I'm not really sure how I'm going to do with combat. Boy. Here we go. Man, I don't know why, but he looks a little bit bigger than the ones upstairs. Maybe it's because we're in such close quarters. Yeah, not even interested in what you're trying to sell me. Fuck off. There. Oh, okay. So that's how you do melee. Makes sense. The left clicky. Well, that's not ominous at all. Now, I remember reading somewhere that the labyrinth section of this remake is considerably longer. Like, there's 2 other labyrinths that are included. And you know, I'm just gonna say this, I love what they did, including these photos, including like close-ups of these photos, because in the original game you weren't able to get a good look at them. But basically, with this right here, there's a theory that goes around about like James and how he views Pyramid Head. Basically, the theory goes that like James once saw this photo in the Silent Hill Historical Society or somewhere, or was able to see some kind of photo of the executioners that were there during that time period, during the Civil War, in the town, wearing these kind of weird red hoods. So it's like Pyramid Head has that image kind of like these executioners. So it makes me happy that they gave us the opportunity to get a clearer shot of the image in question, because that's cool. And also the lying figures too. You know, this little image here. Death by skewering, an execution at the prison. Death by skewering of strangling. To choose his death is the prisoner's last taste of freedom. Well, I do remember seeing that. I don't know, I'm having a little trouble remembering if we actually got like close-ups of these. I do remember seeing them, or maybe they just like showed the description when you went up to them and examined them. To look, a prison camp built in 1862. The camp was used to house prisoners during the American Civil War, converted into Toluca Prison in 1866. Yeah, let me get caught up on stuff here. God. I wouldn't call James Sunderland a modern, Ethan Winters. I'd say he's far from being Ethan Winters. I mean, at the same time, the story is kind of similar, but it's not exactly a story about a man's wife being kidnapped with a bunch of hillbillies involved, and then a bunch of lichens and hot vampire mommy dominatrixes. It's more about, I would say Silent Hill 2, the story is more about a man who basically lost his wife, and his ties to Silent Hill, besides it being a place where they once, you know, visited. I think it was on vacation. I don't know if they grew up in the town or not, but we got to the first hole. Ultimately, it is a story about a man's descent into his own mind, essentially. Because there is something about James that is not... Yeah. James is a very disturbed man at the end of the day. He did something real bad. But at the same time, he's also a very sympathetic character, I think. You know, just like staring at this hole here. It's not even technically the first hole that James has to jump down. It's like, you'd think, with where he is, why would somebody make this kind of a crazy decision? I like how there's a kind of an option It's like you get to the prompt, and then it's like, when do you make that decision? There's another prompt, almost like he's hesitating to do it. One thing I noticed there, it's almost like he's looking to see how far the hole is. In the original game, he doesn't. In fact, he just kind of jumps.